United Modern Artists came into being in my efforts to impart all aspects of martial arts, not just one style or another, to other people. So a lot of times you get in one style or another and they're very closed. Well, we do this because this is what we do. But if you do one style all the time, then you have that one style's set of parameters for every situation, and every situation may not fit in those parameters. So I think my belief is that the more different ways of movement that you're exposed to, the less likely it is that outside of here, outside of the training hall or off the mat, that you're going to get surprised by somebody else. So I think what I bring to United Modern Artists is the 30-some years of training in the several different styles. Some are linear, some are ballistic, some are circular, and they all have their different fortes. So the United in United Modern Artists. Modern Artists is kind of the core in that Modern Artists as a style, as a system, incorporates all this. But the United, to me, unites all the systems that I've been involved in. It unites not just systems, but it unites people. I would like United Modern Artists to be more inclusive and not exclusive. It doesn't matter really if you spent 20 years doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or if you spent 20 years doing Aikido or Karate or some other style. It doesn't matter, because you can come in and train with us and enhance what you've been doing for so long, and maybe learn some other things, or at least get a different flavor, a different take on some of the things you've been doing, so that you can just sort of perhaps evolve and better yourself. I want to parry with my right and wrap with my left. As this is happening, don't waste this other hand. Throw a hook punch in here as you're making this disarm. After this disarm happens and this hook punch comes through, you can two-lock as you're moving behind to hitch his head and elbow. It absolutely works. And I believe the reason it works is because of the uniting of all the different styles, the uniting of all the systems that really Modern Artists is the core of, because of where the Philippines are on the planet. There's a lot of different cultural nuances in there. Brush, check. I'm going to raise. There's an upward movement. Here's an upward movement. I'm going to zone out with my left foot, at least next to his foot. So it's here. Wrap around, hit the inside of his thigh, and pull. For instance, if you want to learn how to use a knife, we do a lot of that. We have groundwork. If you want to learn groundwork, you can do that. So I think that whatever works naturally for you, I'm not interested in necessarily imposing my will on other people. I'm not necessarily interested in saying you have to do it this way because this is the only way it's going to work, because that's not the case. What may work for me because of my psychological makeup, my size, my physical attributes, may not work for somebody else with different attributes or a different size or different build or different mindset. So I think that if you come in and are exposed to all the different ways of movement, you're going to find in United Modern Artists probably multiple aspects of martial arts that will be very effective for you. Then I'm not going to detach and reattach. I'm going to keep this adhesion or this attachment and just drop my hand. So let's catch here. I'm still going to maintain this. I can take this back and let him hit himself, or I can disarm this before I make the throw. The mission of United Modern Artists is to unite peoples, unite cultures, and to help people understand that there's more than one way to get through a confrontation. There's more than one way to deal with a problem. Violence is not always is not the answer. Sometimes you can talk. Sometimes in terms of physical movement, you don't meet force on force. You learn to work your way around. You learn to work other styles. You learn to work differently in order to get through a physical confrontation. What starts to happen then is that starts to bleed over into the way you behave outside of here. Then you may come into an issue at work where you're having kind of a little bit of a antagonistic environment. Well, you learn to work ways around that, because you've spent time physically learning how to do that. It just kind of, you start to think about it. It starts to become a part of who you are, so that you start to work that way with most of the problems that you come into. So I need to make sure that I step in and get that blocked. I'll take the puño end of my cane, get a hold of both canes, come over his wrist, so the canes are parallel to the floor. All I have to do from that point is drop my hands down. UMA is not the oldest organization. going around in terms of modern artists. I think the future for UMA is, as the word gets out, that we are really trying to be about uniting people that may have been around for a long time or may have not been around for a long time, but it's all about uniting people from different areas, from different backgrounds, to come together and learn together and grow and evolve.